Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Democrats who don't know what they're doing.
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep
state. Study the
state.
subject. I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sasse said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why
right.
not just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you another thing.
Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree with it very strongly.
But there's not a satanic pedophile cult being run by.
I have no idea. I know nothing about that.
You don't know that? Okay.
No, I don't know that.
You just this week.
And neither do you know that.
Okay.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Human trafficking is now the fastest growing industry in the world. In order for us to bring in the light, we must first walk into the darkness. Humanity itself is at stake here. So, let's begin. Rachel Ray Chandler Guinness was born in 1988, but her origins are fairly hidden and information is scarce. However, she is the daughter of the Chandler family that owned the Los Angeles Times. The family is divested of the paper today, and not as powerful or prominent in LA high society as they used to be, but up through the 1980s they were super powerful. Not much is known about her parents, but Rachel is definitely a part of the LA-based Hollywood rich and famous. There has been a lot of evidence to show that she was also raised in the world of child trafficking. It seems like the name Chandler could indeed be used as a code word for child handler. Rachel graduated in 2005 from the Brentwood School in Los Angeles. Her first job was at the Standard Hotel, which has plenty of rumors of sinister happenings. She married Tom Guinness in 2012, who is a well-known stylist in the United Kingdom.
There are no wires connecting your heart to your should you start? There are no satellites guiding you home. So careful as you tread in this carnival of souls. Don't let your blood run cold. This is not a city that wants to forgive. This is the place where the cold hearts live. Feeding off your friends and fighting out late. Everybody wants it, but nobody waits. Don't let your blood run cold. And turning into a lifetime. Sitting alone on a park bench, just like a lifetime. Closer than I ever dreamt. A lifetime.
There's also a tangential Rothschilds connection here, by the way. The Guinness family has close ties to the Rothschild family. Amschel Mayor James Rothschild married Anita Patience Guinness and worked for N.M. Rothschild and Sons before killing himself in 1996. His son is James Rothschild, Nicky Hilton's husband. Rachel Chandler is good friends with Paris and Nicky Hilton. Rachel Chandler had 2 weddings. Their first wedding was a family-only affair held in Los Angeles, California. Vogue covered both weddings, her standard wedding in LA for her family, and her shamanic wedding in the United Kingdom for her friends. It has been speculated that Chandler started out as a child sex slave working at the Standard Hotel. She would partake in Purple Night in the Boom Boom Room at the Standard Hotel. It is interesting to note that purple is the colour representative of mind control. But I'm not sure if that is relevant in this case, I just thought I'd mention it. So with her connections, she was able to fund her photography and DJ careers before establishing the Midland Agency. Meet Walter Pierce. The Midland Agency was co-founded by Rachel Chandler and Walter Pierce in September of 2016. Walter Pierce himself was taken in by an internship at the age of 14 for the DIS magazine. Guess who Walter Pierce is friends with? Well, you might remember Beth from episode 5, Pizzagate. Here we see that Beth appears on Instagram with Walt. What a small world it is! Or is it that these people are all connected as they're in a multi-generational Luciferian death cult? The agency is publicly known as a casting and modeling agency based out of New York. They search for young talent, but the Midland Agency really seems to be a front that is used to attract new children and teens into the world of child trafficking, where they can then be delivered into the cult. So let's have a look at some of the pictures from Walt's Instagram. Rachel Chandler was also a photographer and casting agent at modeling agency MC². We see in this high fashion W magazine 16 models to watch according to Rachel Chandler. Picture number 4 and picture number 13 says the models are from MC². So, who do you think donated large sums of money through MC²? Who had children trafficked to them from MC²? None other than Jeffrey Epstein.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on for.
MC² was Epstein's underage model procurement agency, founded by Jean-Luc Brunel. Brunel scored US passports for girls as young as 12 years of age, then passed the minors off to pervy pals like Epstein. The court documents stated he supplied Jeffrey Epstein with underage girls for an orgy with Prince Andrew. According to a complaint filed in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, Epstein used the agency to lure underage prey. In those court documents, one alleged victim accused the billionaire of deliberately engaging in a pattern of racketeering that involved luring minor children through MC², mostly girls under the age of 17, to engage in sexual play for money.
He was a close confidant of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and a former French modeling agent facing charges of his own. Tonight, Jean-Luc Brunel is dead, found in his Paris prison cell hanged with his bedsheets, according to the Paris prosecutor's office. Authorities believe the 75-year-old died by suicide. It comes less than 3 years after Epstein was found dead in a Manhattan prison under similar circumstances. His death has been ruled a suicide. Brunel was awaiting trial after several former models accused him of rape and sexual harassment when they were minors.
What he was accused of in the context of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was using his position as a modeling scout to lure women to be abused by Epstein and by himself.
In a statement, Brunel's lawyers maintained their client's innocence, writing in part, his decision was not driven by guilt, but by a deep sense of injustice. It's the latest twist in the sprawling saga of Jeffrey Epstein, coming just days after Prince Andrew, another Epstein associate, settled a sexual abuse lawsuit against him without admitting wrongdoing. And in December, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of luring young girls to be abused by Epstein. She has requested a new trial. Tonight, Maxwell's brother calls this latest death in the Epstein orbit incomprehensible.
Do you fear for your sister's safety?
Yeah, I certainly do. I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but if you were a conspiracy theory person, obviously you would say, well, you know, these things happen in threes, and no doubt Ghislaine is going to be taken out for whatever fantasy reason people seem to think about.
The offices for MC² in New York are smack in the middle of prime real estate at the northern edge of Manhattan's Greenwich Village neighborhood. The agency also claims to have international offices in Miami and as far away as Tel Aviv. This becomes a common theme in the fashion, art, and entertainment industries. We saw in the State Department section in Part 1 that there are laws in place banning the inspection of shipping containers containing live art. Children that are shipped to or from North America can become labelled as living art, allowing for child trafficking on a global scale. Rachel Chandler's activity in that casting agency seems to have much deeper connections to the Clinton Foundation than anyone knows. Not unlike NXIVM, but seemingly on a much larger scale. Thus, Rachel Chandler is a link piece connecting several evil people, all interlinked in high-level politics, entertainment, and media. MC² modeling agency is all wrapped up in Epstein scandals, and now it's connected to none other than Rachel Chandler, who we see here pictured with none other than Bill Clinton. And let's not forget who said he was the founder of the Clinton Foundation. The man himself, Jeffrey Epstein. Rachel Chandler and Bill Clinton had this photo taken on a private plane, allegedly owned by Jeffrey Epstein, the Lolita Express. Bill travelled to Epstein's island roughly 26 times. The Clintons are not the only ones with connections to Chandler. Celebrities like Eminem, P. Diddy and others have also been seen with the underaged Chandler. As a madame, she blackmailed several high-level people across the globe. Many can be found in Epstein's little black book. Chandler is so well connected that she even has ties to the royal family, such as Prince Andrew. The Instagram account belonging to Rachel Chandler was quickly hidden around the same time the Pizzagate story broke. Luckily, anonymous users scoured through her page and took screenshots before that happened. Now, let's take a look at pictures unearthed from Rachel Chandler's Tumblr and Instagram accounts. Remember, Q stated that Rachel Chandler is 100 times worse than Alison Mack. The account is most known for the security camera images from underneath the temple on Little St. James Island. Look at this post from Rachel. Is Rachel Chandler's real mom the co-founder of NXIVM, Nancy Salzman? Here we see photos of children from Rachel's Instagram, including 2 mimicking a satanic ritual. Furthermore, Ray, or Rachel Chandler as she's confusingly known, has also been tied to numerous art events hosted by Spirit Cooking Marina Abramovich throughout the years.
¡Satánica fuera! ¡Fuera satánico! En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. ¡Fuera Satán! ¡Fuera Satán! ¡Fuera Satán! ¡Lacayos! ¡Lacayos! ¡Fuera Satán! ¡Fuera Satán!
Rachel was a photographer and an attendee at Marina Abramovich's 2010 The Artist is Present performance, where Marina gave a very controversial performance that involved a kind of a pseudo-ritualized cannibalism of the female body. Marina was introduced to the world in a viral video about her meeting an ex from years ago. This elite coven was exposed by WikiLeaks right before the 2016 United States election, when emails from Clinton campaign manager John Podesta were leaked, and internet sleuths and anons found weird food-orientated code words that made no sense at all, such as Obama spending $65,000 on hot dogs and pizza for a late-night party at the White House. The Podesta emails also showed that Hillary said she would sacrifice a chicken to the satanic god Moloch. We also found out that Clinton and the Podestas attended private spirit cooking events with Marina Abramovich and friends. For those that are unaware, spirit cooking refers to a sacrament in the religion of the Lima, and involves an occult performance where individuals use menstrual blood, breast milk, urine and sperm in a satanic ritual. Abramovich worked with Jacob Samuel to produce a cookbook of aphrodisiac recipes called Spirit Cooking in 1996. These recipes were meant to be evocative instructions for actions or for thoughts. For example, one of the recipes calls for 13,000 grams of jealousy, while another says to mix fresh breast milk with fresh sperm milk. The work was inspired by the popular belief that ghosts feed off intangible things like light, sound, and emotions.
On Wednesday evening, the Israeli and Ukrainian presidents gathered for an official ceremony for the unveiling of a new interactive memorial, Crystal Wall of Crying, by world-renowned performance artist Marina Abramovic.
Abramovich is known for her often gory art that confronts pain and ritual. Her first performance involved repeatedly stabbing herself in her hands. The next performance featured her throwing her nails, toenails and hair into a flaming 5-point star, which she eventually jumped inside of, causing her to lose consciousness. She acts as a kind of a spiritual advisor to many of the Hollywood elites, including John Podesta, Hillary Clinton, Gwen Stefani, Jared Leto, Robert De Niro, Kim Kardashian, Jay-Z, and her prized pupil Lady Gaga. Marina was 76 years old in November 2022. Huh. I wonder how she stays so young looking.
And police pointed a gun at a woman's head and tried to force her into his van. Inside, a metal cage.
He was wearing a dark-colored hoodie-style sweatshirt and jeans. Now, the van is described as a full-size van, white, with no windows on the side. It also had a California license plate, and as you said, Sarah, the most disturbing thing is a possible black cage within that van.
Two boys said that when they were on their way home from school, a man in a white van asked them to come to the van and come to him. Of course, they did the right thing and yelled and got out of there as quick as they could.
Fox 2's Paul Shankman is live in Rock Hill to explain why they want everyone in that area watching out for one particular white van.
Beside him at the curb, the sliding door opened in the back and a white male yelled, "Get in."
That unsettling report comes from an 11-year-old boy who says there were actually 3 men in that van when it pulled up next to him near the intersection of North Rock Hill Road and Euclid. The boy immediately took off running for 3 blocks until he got to school.
Told the principal what happened and she called the cops.
Within a couple hours, a recorded message was sent to the parents of Lawrence Elementary students. Quote, "A white van was parked on the side of the road. The girls walked on and the van followed them. The girls became nervous and returned to school. We called the police, who are now investigating."
And then it was just scary because the very next day is when the other little girl came up missing.
1, 2, 3, 4! 8-year-old Demetrius Madison is smiling and laughing once again, but just over 24 hours ago, he was nearly kidnapped by 4 men in a black van who approached him at the Alameda Park Apartments.
Extra air. This air? It's like this, like all this? I didn't even see that. I don't even know what all this is. It should look like a bomb or some shit. This is, I don't know, this right here. I think it's a joke. That's like the door. I think this unlocked the door. I want to close y'all in here and see. No, don't close me in here.
Yeah,
I'm going to open it.
I just want to see, knock on it so we can see, can you hear?
I will. Climb out, Alicia. Let her do it.
She ain't scared of him. Cut it off. She from Texas with the face on her. Knock. Hold on. Knock.
scream. Open the door, tell her scream.
You can't hear her knocking.
You can hear it a little bit, but barely.
She said scream.
Close it and scream. Do it again. Oh, hell no. You can't even hear it.
Y'all screaming
Hell
loud.
no.
Y'all
You can't even hear that shit.
It's crazy.
Because ain't no telling what they done rolled. The only thing you can see visible is that hill.
Yeah, and them little scratches.
And these little hand marks.
Look on the roof. Look at all them scratches up there. Look. I don't even know what that say. That shit look like blood and everything.
No, don't say that word.
It do.
Rachel is also friends with Oliver Zahm. Oliver Zahm works with Jeff Koons. Now, let's look at another sexual predator. No, not that kind of sexual predator. This kind of sexual predator. Terry Richardson. Oliver Zahm is friends with music video director Terry Richardson, who works with artists such as Miley Cyrus and directed her infamous Wrecking Ball video. The very public transformation from Disney family-orientated Hannah Montana to this new Miley Cyrus has a huge effect on the subconscious mind of young women who grew up watching her and think that how Miley acts now is almost natural, normal, and a sane way for a young woman to act. This is just another way in how Disney are grooming young children. Terry Richardson is well known to be a total sleazebag, and I think that old saying of birds of a feather flock together is appropriate with these pictures of pervert Terry and the $65,000 pizza and hot dog ex-president Barack Hussein Obama. Rachel is the primary photographer for an artist named Terence Coe, who frequently collaborates with Marina Abramovich and who is also friends with Oliver Zahm. And here we see that Rachel took this picture of Marina. Here are some photos I found of Lady Gaga that were taken by, guess who? Of course, Rachel Chandler. We also see here that Rachel posted a picture of drag kid Desmond is Amazing. Desmond has been at the centre of controversy after there was public outcry when an alarming video was released of him dancing like a stripper on stage late at night at a gay bar whilst the people who attended threw money at him. As we can see here, Desmond's parents are also okay with him hanging out with renowned degenerate 90s socialite Michael Ailig, who was sent to prison for chopping up his drug dealer and throwing him in the river. The website of Michael Ailig is rife with the same sick paedophilic images we have seen in Pizzagate, and also lots of weird references to the date rape drug Rohypnol.
Welcome to the pew. This is the Desmond is Amazing episode.
Our special guest, the amazing Desmond,
Hello.
all the way from Brooklyn. Drove through rush hour traffic to get here. Hot tea. It's 9:40 p.m. and he doesn't have to go to school tomorrow. He just took one of those before starting.
Well, we should explain to the viewers who Desmond is. Desmond is the world's youngest club kid, and we challenge you as the viewer out there to find a younger club kid. Will they find one? No. Now, those 37 members, are they all 37 young club kids like you? Or you don't know?
Just regular drag kids.
Oh, well, how old are they? Are they as young as you are, Desmond?
There's only two that's younger.
Are they encroaching upon your youth?
Michael Ailig is a notorious murderer who they made several documentaries and movies about. One of them was called Party Monster and had Macaulay Culkin in the main role. Macaulay Culkin was said to also have been involved with this cult by deceased actor turned whistleblower Isaac Cappy. Like Macaulay Culkin, Desmond has had no choice in what has happened to him as a child. There's also a clip where Desmond randomly starts talking about people snorting ketamine off couches, which is a very specific example, and he goes on to mimic the act of snorting ketamine. Now, why would a child even know what ketamine is to start with? These people are sick. This is child abuse and the parents need to be arrested. It would not surprise me if they were in this cult.
Desmond has been sent into gay clubs to dance for money. That's a real thing. This child in drag has danced at gay clubs at night while grown adult gay men throw money at him on stage. He's appeared in videos with adult gay men where he pantomimes snorting ketamine off of his hand, something that no 11-year-old should know how to do or be aware of. Just for reference, here's that moment.
Anyone can do drag. Everyone can do drag.
Everyone can.
Your mom can do drag. What has this world come to? It's come to a world where drag kids actually exist.
And people do ketamine on a couch. And people do ketamine on a couch.
Yeah, so he's that's during some kind of Facebook Live or something, and he's done a lot of these where he appears with adult cross-dressing men, and very often in the videos he appears to be on drugs.
People need to understand that there are millions of people in the United States and all around the world that are born into and are part of this ancient multi-generational Luciferian death cult. For many years, Epstein flew the world's elite, including Bill and Hillary Clinton, on junkets to his private island. The flight logs support the testimony of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who said she was trafficked to business titans, heads of state, and Prince Andrew. Virginia Roberts Giuffre was Epstein's underage sex slave for many years. Here we see that she mentioned Epstein had a room she called the dungeon. How the deep state conduct their human trafficking has been a huge subject that Q and the Anons has brought into the light. We have seen since Pizzagate how effective open source investigation is.
We have an army of digital soldiers.
Q told us that Epstein spent $29 million burying the tunnels underneath the temple, but phones were allowed in and people took pictures. Then Q began dropping photos of people connected with Epstein, like this one of Bill Clinton and Rachel Chandler, who was likely a minor when the photo was taken. The implication from Q is that Ray Chandler is a child handler who specializes in trafficking underage models. The next related drop of information took us to the public photo on Chandler's Instagram. According to Q, it shows night 3 on Epstein's island. This image is a close-up of the security camera 10, which appears to be people, some have suggested naked, sitting on overturned buckets or stools, eating something. Q suggested that one such figure in these photos is H. On March 19, 2019, the drop included a link to Epstein's flight manifests, followed by, "This is not just about sex trafficking. 1. Will the rich and powerful influence the court to prevent the unsealing? The tale of 2. 1. Sex resort, non-temple resort only. Trafficked and drugged underage girls. 2. Occult, worship of evil, temple, class 1 to 99. Haiti, pray for the victims, Q." On July 25th, immediately after Epstein's first suicide attempt, Q linked to a story in USA Today about Epstein's offer to mortgage his $77 million mansion in order to get bail. It was turned down by the judge. Q wrote, "Does a person who fights hard for bail, then appeals the original decision, attempt to overturn, attempt suicide prior to the ruling of the appeal? Logical thinking. Q."
Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years in prison over sex trafficking offences. The British socialite was convicted back in December for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse 4 girls between the years 1994 and 2004. One of the victims, Annie Farmer, was at court today. Welcomed that decision.
I just hope that this sentence can be another sign that voices are coming together and saying no more. If you commit these crimes, you will be punished. If you facilitate these crimes, you will be punished. If you are a bystander that looks the other way, you will not be allowed to continue to hold a position of power.
Maxwell spoke in court ahead of her sentencing, saying, "I am sorry for the pain that you experienced. I hope my conviction and harsh incarceration brings you pleasure." But this provided no comfort to the victims.
Her statement felt like a very hollow apology to me. She did not take responsibility for the crimes that she committed, and it felt like once more her trying to do something to benefit her and not at all about the harm that she had caused.
Things stand at the moment. Ghislaine Maxwell, who's 60 years old, she'd be 80 before she's released from prison.
Q Post 3396, July the 9th, 2019. In relation to the Bill Clinton and Rachel Chandler Epstein plane picture, did the FBI or Department of Justice interview Rachel Chandler? When did public awareness grow across social media? Class 1 to 99. What age is Rachel Chandler in the picture? Under the age of 18? 15. Who posted the picture? Rachel Chandler, who posted internal security camera pictures from the temple on Instagram. Untouchable mindset by all involved. blackmail, power, top-down protection, plane plus temple plus XYZ pictures equals witness, witness plus class 1 to 99. Why did Rachel Chandler start or form a modeling talent agency? Why was Rachel Chandler and Epstein and the M Temple highlighted in the past? Dark to light. These people are sick. Q. What high-profile elite people fund and provide Rachel with her photography studio? What is the studio used for? What is the studio really used for? Who has Rachel Chandler been pictured with? This goes far beyond spirit cooking models. Q. Q post 3136, March the 20th, 2019. How many girls were waiting for their return to the boat? Who owned the boat? What does a handler procure? Is the handler one of many? Connected to Epstein, flight logs reveal many hidden artifacts. Rachel Chandler. Q. Q post 3401, July the 9th, 2019. Welcome to Epstein Island. Ask yourself, is this normal? What does a temple typically symbolize? What does an owl symbolize? Dark religion? Tunnels underneath? How many channels captured on Rachel Chandler's picture? Rooms indicate size. Hallways shown. Class 1 to 99. Symbolism will be their downfall. These people are evil. Q.
Let's go.
So let's recap some of the confirmed information related to Epstein and Rachel Chandler from the drops by Q. Special Counsel Robert Mueller from the Russia collusion investigation was also tasked with protecting Epstein, who was a liability to many. Q post 3473, July 24th, 2019. There are puppets. There are puppet masters. Which is Mueller? Attempt to replace James Comey as FBI director failed. Attempt to regain FBI control. Plot and plan. Backup. To initiate special counsel to safeguard against criminal prosecution in relation to illegal and criminal actions. Special counsel equals blockade. Special counsel equals loss of FBI command, control, safeguard. Department of Justice depends on what agency for investigating criminal actions. Mueller, Uranium 1. Mueller, Epstein, Berry and cover-up. Mueller, plot to remove duly elected POTUS. Biggest scandal in American history. Treason. 2019, Year of the Boomerang. Q. The models trafficked by the Midland Agency were targeted based on being loners, depressed, insecure, and from poorer families unable to fight back. The media has been trying to help cover up the details about Epstein's Island. For example, the temple was said to be a music room or gym, and yet inside the temple was a bed covered in plastic and scaffolding. The enormous ventilation and air conditioning units that were built into the side of a hill on the island were for the underground tunnels, and there looks to be at least 3 floors under the temple. I have previously mentioned in episode 5, Pizzagate, that hashtag Karis James was posted multiple times on these people's creepy images. And what if the car in Karis James is for Caribbean? And what if the is in Karis James is for Island? And what if the James in Karis James is for Little St. James Island, Epstein's Island? So, When these people were tagging photos and photos of kids with the hashtag #CarisJames, they were referencing probably what goes on under the temple on Epstein's Island.
Ghislaine Maxwell just got put away for 20 years. So she was supplying kids for all these fucking pedos, right? Where's the list? Is that just gets like, I don't know.
Kind of weird that got no coverage, but Johnny Depp and Amber was
everywhere. Yeah, and I'm like, so the list of, politicians and actresses and actors or whatever that they talked about, does that get swept under the rug? Do they not get any time for actually fucking those kids? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, that's weird how that just doesn't compute with me.
But the other interesting thing that just happened is that the Florida Supreme Court has granted Governor Ron DeSantis' request for a grand jury to probe human trafficking and sanctuary cities that aid and abet the coyotes. So that is very interesting. So the grand jury will investigate parents and guardians of unaccompanied alien children who have conspired with traditional criminal organizations to smuggle and endanger their children. It will also investigate organizations who are directly or indirectly working with the TCOs to traffic illegal children into the country. The order includes a host of other offenses it would investigate, including crimes involving narcotics, bribery, computer-related crimes, fraud, and money laundering. The Supreme Court order said a statewide grand jury will be promptly impaneled for 12 months to investigate. Now, think about this. I remember going back to 2020, I think it was like April or May, when Trump was giving a speech and he said, yeah, human trafficking, it's ancient, but it still exists. And it's all over the world, and they use the internet. That's interesting. Why do you think Trump is building the wall? He was shutting down the deep state operation. And now it just so happens that DeSantis, well, they'll be investigating all of this. I wonder what they're going to turn up. That is going to be very interesting. Now, think about what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell. She was thrown to prison for 20 years. Remember, this is just the beginning. And think about where this is going to lead. Remember, we had a couple of posts with Rachel Chandler. And Julian Drum and Lisa Crowley, they started to look at this and looked at what Trump said, what Kash Patel said, and started to put the pieces together. And this is very interesting. And this is what she said on True Social. Yesterday, Julian Drum posted President @RealDonald Trump Cheney typo and wondered if Rachel Chandler was the third co-conspirator with Epstein and Maxwell in the sex trafficking op. Yesterday, Donald J. Trump included Fantasyland in a post. Now, that's very interesting. And then she says, drop 158. What is a honeypot? Define blackmail. How could this be applied? Fantasyland. Who has all the information? No such agency. So then we have Kash Patel. He also put out a post, and there's 3 firecrackers next to what he did. And he says, someone light the boomstick. Okay, so we have 3 firecrackers, and he says, someone light the boomstick. So are they pointing to Ray Chandler? Why do I say this? Well, Julian's Rum on True says the following. Cheney, Chaney, meaning candle maker. Chandler, meaning person. So Trump spelled Cheney wrong. So Chandler, meaning a person involved in making or selling candles. Then, all of a sudden, we have a post by Devin Nunes on True Social. He says, here at True Social, we give free tutorials on carjacking. However, only if you're going to carjack a car with 0 emissions. Now, of course, this is a joke. But the important thing on this photo, you have Trump and Nunes with 2 thumbs up. Behind him, it's a chandelier, and there's 3 candlesticks, which is actually the lights. So is that a hint that Rachel Chandler is going to be coming into the light very, very soon? And in the New York Post article that they linked to, and this is about Jeffrey Epstein, down below it says, may this day help you travel from darkness into light. And remember, Trump, he mentioned Fantasyland when he was talking about Cassidy Hutchinson. Her body language is that of a total bull artist. Fantasyland. So Fantasyland, what was that? Saudi Arabia. We have Rachel Chandler. We have children. Ghislaine Maxwell was just arrested. And this seems like it's all leading in that direction. And we'll have to see how that plays out, because we know that there are investigations, there are indictments that are not unsealed. They are private right now.
And here we go.
With the whole place heavily surveilled, Epstein threw sick parties and invited sick guests onto his island, so as to implicate and/or blackmail prominent people. What if somebody else got a hold of all the incriminating evidence? What if someone in relation to the Q team has all the information already? What if all the information that compromised many deep state minions was backed up and stored on servers in China? What if this footage was already retrieved by the Q team from these servers in China, which they really thought was safe? I wonder how many politicians and celebrities are caught on tape engaging in depraved acts, which would deserve a military tribunal or a lengthy jail sentence. I think these next Q drops may indicate that this could well be true. Q Post 1991, August 29, 2018. Who discovered the Chinese link to Hillary Rodham Clinton's servers? Who reported the discovery? Who inserted the discovery into the Presidential Daily Brief? Paper Trail, Q. Q Post 1445, July 11th, 2018. Track all suicides. Example 1. Think Kate Spade. Trace to Children Foundations in New York. Trace to Import-Export. Trace from China, Mexico to Long Beach. Trace sales spin-off of companies. Trace to the Clinton Foundation. Trace to Port Security Clearance Profile Level 5. Who granted? Hussein. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Expect a lot more. Q. Q Post 1980, August 29th, 2018. Why is POTUS pushing the FBI and DOJ on this issue? What if access to these servers was deliberate? What if this is known within the FBI and DOJ? If known, why no action? How might this discredit the FBI's investigation into Hillary Rodham Clinton's emails? How might this open the door to Wiener, Huma, Hillary Rodham Clinton? Logical thinking. Why was the information on Wiener's laptop in the first place? D5. Q. Q Post 866, March the 6th, 2018. So much is open source. So much left to be connected. Why are the children in Haiti in high demand? How are they smuggled out? Adoption process. Local staging port friendly to Clinton Foundation. Track donations. Cross against location relative to Haiti. Think logically. The choice to know will be yours. Q. From files of evidence found in the Jeffrey Epstein case, to computer files and evidence found on Anthony Weiner's laptop, and the fake President of the United States crackhead son Hunter Biden's laptop, Rachel Chandler is knee-deep in it, and the elites have been trying to cover all of this up. All of these people are connected, and they're all very sick and completely evil. We are the ones that have to stop this by telling everyone what they are up to. When the big arrests start to happen, people will be in shock as they watch the news break on their TV screens whilst Anons will rejoice knowing the deep state cabal's pedos will finally be exposed to the public.
Jesus Christ, great.
So I do hope that people are starting to see why the media brainwashed everyone to think that there was nothing to the Q drops, and everyone paying attention and following the drops were all in a crazy cult. If there was nothing to worry about for the Mockingbird media, then why the need to censor anyone who talks about the Q subject like we have never seen before? What is coming that these people who run our media are so afraid of? I now want to quickly run through a few other Q drops that are relevant to Jeffrey Epstein. Q Post 100, November the 5th, 2017. Satan. Who follows? What political leaders worship Satan? What does an upside down cross represent? Who wears openly? Why? Who is she connected to? Why is this relevant? Spirit cooking. What does spirit cooking represent? Cult. What is a cult? Who is worshipped? Snow White. Godfather 3. Speed. Q. Q Post 133, November the 11th, 2017. Hard to swallow. Important to progress. Who are the puppet masters? House of Saud. 6+++. 4 trillion plus. Rothschild. 6++. 2 trillion plus. Soros. 6+. 1 trillion plus. Focus on above 3. Public wealth disclosures false. Many governments of the world feed the eye. Think slush funds feeder. Think war feeder. Think environmental pacts feeder. Triangle has 3 sides. Eye of Providence. Follow the bloodlines. What is the keystone? Does Satan exist? Does the thought of Satan exist? Who worships Satan? What is a cult? Epstein Island. What is a temple? What occurs in a temple? Worship? Why is the temple on top of a mountain? How many levels might exist below? What is the significance of the colors, design, and symbol above the dome? Why is this relevant? Who are the puppet masters? Have the puppet masters traveled to this island? When? How often? Why? Vladimir Putin says, the New World Order worships Satan. Q. Q Post 3371, July the 8th, 2019. Sessions began the Epstein investigation. When that is revealed, those who doubted may see the light. The wheels of justice turn slow, but when they turn, they are powerful. 10 times the speed now underway. We are back online, Pelosi attempted block. Q. Then we see Q replying to an anon on the board saying, sometimes you need to take one for the team publicly before you are vindicated as a hero. Q. Q Post 3385, July the 9th, 2019. You didn't think the Epstein investigation began a few months ago, did you? It was all under the direction and oversight of AG Jeff Sessions. Expect a lot more to become public. Unsealing. Q. Q Post 3428 from July 14th, 2019. In this post, Q highlights the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Q Post 4565 from July the 2nd, 2020. Possible Epstein was a puppet, not the main persons of interest. Financed by who or what foreign entities? Number 1. Primary. gather blackmail on elected politicians, dignitaries, royalty, Hollywood influencers, Wall Street and other financial top-level players, other high-profile industry-specific people, etc. Number 2. Feed an addiction. Controllable. Maxwell family background. Robert Maxwell, history, intel, agency, wealth, class 1 to 99. Sometimes it's the people in the background that are of greater significance. Q. Q post 4623. August 19th, 2020. Epstein Island. Who owns the surrounding islands? Close proximity, unique skill sets of Maxwell, submarine pilot, unusual, helicopter pilot? What benefit might that serve? Q. Q post 3799, January 28th, 2020. You didn't think we highlighted Epstein for no reason, did you? Those who were once protected are no longer. Timing is everything. Hunters become prey. Q. Q post 344, December 14th, 2017. They all belong to the same sick cult.
That's very, very important for people to understand. I mean, Satanism is a real faith. Do you know that some satanic church in the US just sued the Supreme Court for the right, because they took away their right to do satanic abortions? Yeah. Katy Perry doing a music video about cannibalism where she's being cooked and prepared to be eaten. Okay, these people are crazy. Maria Abramovich holding up a severed goat's head and doing spirit cooking and bathing people in blood and having fake, cannibal dinners where all these Hollywood celebrities are standing around taking a piece of the fake, sort of body and eating it. And they're drowning in fake blood. I mean, I'm sorry, but these are the crazy people. John Podesta's art that he poses in front of in his office or his home or whatever it is, you can find those pictures on the internet. He's insane. The people painting kids in their underwear in different forms of ritual sacrifice or with blood or with the handkerchief that is, this handkerchief is part of the map that's meant to be your signature in pedophilia. These are the crazy people. We're not crazy for talking about it. We're not crazy for wanting the truth. We're not crazy for wanting to know who were the people that Ghislaine Maxwell was supplying children to.
So that's it for this episode. Remember everybody, please share this video with absolutely
everyone. What do you mean everyone?
I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. God bless you all, and I do thank you for your support. It means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Truth Bomb, out.
Now this is a tale the rats and snakes have feared for a long, long time. There's 747 sits, then it makes an uphill climb. It looks like it no time. The first mate and a skipper too will be put to their deaths. We'll make the others comfortable with an epic mass arrest. Electric chairs for every guest. Ouch. No phones, no bribes, no more cigars, not a single hung jury. Trump promised us he'd do so. Now Hillary's in Camp D on Guantanamo Bay TD. So join us here, it's Big, my friend, you're sure to get a smile. So many slimy rats and snakes here on Castro's Isle.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for more must-see videos.